sports fan, and welcome to Sports Express. I'm your host, Alonzo. Welcome to a beautiful day today at My Place Park. Okay, let me be honest with you. It's not My Place Park. It's actually my backyard. But that shouldn't matter because today I'm here to bring sports to you today. I want to report today that there was a double whammy that happened to the NCAA this week. The first one is their motion to file for a dismissal of a lawsuit brought against them by Ed O'Bannon, a former UCLA player, was denied, and the trial date has been set for June the 9th of this year. The second one is EA Sports, which produced a series of college football games over so many years, decided that they would have an out-of-court settlement for $40 million that would be dispersed to Ed O'Bannon and over 100 to 200,000 players, which will come out to anywhere between $70-something all the way up to $951 per player, depending upon if they're former, current players that played on the teams that the likeness was put on video games, which pretty much leave NCAA by themselves when they sit and basically try to explain why is it that players are not able to benefit financially from the likeness of their name, but they are. So that's what our spotlight will be on today, is the pay for play with NCAA players. Now, the way I see it is this. For years, the NCAA has pretty much offered a scholarship to the players, and that's fair. You come and play, and we give you a full ride and an education and help you draft stocks if you decide to go to the NBA or NC or NFL. Now the problem I have with this is the NCAA has become a multi-billion-dollar business where they're selling anywhere from jerseys to the players' likeness to what they're wearing. You take a look at most of the NCAA players in basketball and football, and you'll see that they're just adorned with different, whether it's Nike or Reebok or whoever it may be, they're up for the highest bidders. Now they'll tell you that they don't want certain things on TV that they consider a stain on the game or the institution, but yet they'll sell their highest brand to scant-clad women during the bowl games, to different liquor companies like Budweiser. But these are still kids, and these kids also, they can't go home for Christmas, most of them, because if you talk about NCAA basketball, these players are playing in basketball tournaments, and the football players are playing in bowls. So these players don't really have the time to spend time with their family, nor do they have time to really go home or be able to have a job to earn money, because you have all these different off-season workout sessions. They have spring practice. So unlike swimming or other sports where they're allowed to actually be able to go out and have another job or be sponsored, the NCAA football players and basketball players, they don't have that luxury. So you have a lot of them who get money from their scholarship or some little small stipend. And what happens in that case is those kids run out of money real quick. You have kids who are sitting there running and scrounging for food at the end of the night because they don't have any more food, or they're living off campus and they're borrowing money from their friends and family. And you have players who sit there and wind up having to deal with agents who might be a little scandalous, who sit and purchase them a Cadillac. Or you have recruiters who are sitting and offer a certain amount of money for them to come and play for them. If there was some kind of system set in place, a lot of that chicanery would be cut in half. It won't completely stop, because crooked is crooked. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's in the world of business or sports. Crooked is crooked. But it will cut it down to somewhat, to an extent where the players feel like, okay, I have an avenue now financially where I can earn money or have enough money where I can take a flight to go see my family, or take my girlfriend out for dinner, or buy her a nice present, or buy myself something for that matter. Now, a lot of people say, well, how do you make this work? You don't want to have a free agency where I guess what I'm saying is that I don't think that they should start paying them based on who they are, because what's going to happen is it's going to be a bid war. You're going to have players making $3, $4, $5 million, and then you're just going to have the NCAA. It's just going to be another NFL or NBA. There should be some filters put in. I think that what they could do is they could have a stipend system, a bigger stipend system, where they say, okay, each semester we'll give you so much money that you'll be able to live off of, even if you're on campus. That way you have some money in your account to be able to do these things, and you don't have to resort to breaking the rules or resorting to stealing or getting in trouble by accepting benefits or money from boosters or people who's big fans of yours. I think another good example would be, you should take, for example, money you earn from bowls, from the season, from merchandise sales, from television rights, and take it and put it in an escrow and have those students to where you can receive this when you leave school. You graduate and they give you this money, and you can take this money and move on into life. Now if you go to the NFL, it's still your money. You can make a claim to it, or you can give it right back to the university in a form of a scholarship or charitable donation to school for athletic equipment for other income students. But they'll have some money to be able to leave out on that they've earned based on their blood and sweat and tears. Now I know a lot of people say, okay, well what about golf or hockey or tennis? They're not earning anything. They're not earning absolutely anything. You talk about welfare, let's be totally honest. Those sports don't earn much of anything. It ain't much of a tick on a board's ass in revenue that they bring. Football and basketball drive a lot of those other sports to being able to be played based on the revenue that they drive and they bring in. So let's just be fair. What did Chris Tucker say? You didn't put in on this, man. I mean, let's just be realistic. You didn't put anything on it. Why should you be drinking out of the pool? I mean, let's just be fair. When you start filling up 100,000 seat stadium, okay, then you come to the bargaining table. Because as of now, you're on welfare anyway. You can thank those NCAA football and basketball players is what's keeping your sports alive. Okay? And you can go somewhere like up in Michigan and Ohio and in Pennsylvania, and hockey is huge, where they can actually have winter classics between Michigan and Michigan State and sell out of the Michigan Stadium. Sell it out. But that doesn't go across the board, across the United States. It doesn't. It's in that region. But football and basketball is all across the United States. Okay? And they're driving in billions to the NCAA, which is considered a non-profit organization. You know, I mean, and it's ridiculous, the money that they've made off these kids' back. Okay? It's time that these kids get some of that back. And I think this lawsuit is a long time coming. You know, why should you continue to shove this scholarship? You know, I hear those people on the posters and say, well, they got a full scholarship. What are they complaining about? You get put in that situation. You get put on the way where that scholarship becomes like a shackle around your ankle where you can't do anything. They had a student who sit there and accepted a salad. And that guy got suspended for 3 games because he accepted a salad. Excuse me? A damn salad? Are you kidding me? There's some things that just it's extreme, okay? And the NCAA, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That system has been broken for years, and you have these people who still continuously try to sit down and defend a system that they know is broken, and it's a system that totally wipes out any kind of money that these players can obtain based on their own likeness. How do you like it if you walk around and you just starve that football team, and you walk around and you pass a bookstore where that jersey is $75, and you can't even afford your own jersey. Sure, they give you some little apparel, or during the bowl games or basketball tournament, they give you these little grab bags. But what else do you get? These coaches get these shoe sneaker deals, summer camps, and then the NCAA get these big television deals for all these different conferences. And see, you see all these different conferences. You have Nebraska playing in the ACC, in the Big Ten, I'm sorry. And then you having teams coming over like Missouri to the SEC. Okay, and this ain't based on amateur no more. This is based on big business. Where you don't got all these people who sit in this room and made these backroom deals off the back of these players. Okay? And then on top of that, they're gonna have the nerve to the NCAA and the NBA and the NFL sitting there all going to collusion talking about, oh, we think that the eligibility should be raised up for these players up to 18 to 21 to 20, or they should be 2 years out. NCAA talking about, well, we're sick of this one and done. And the NFL saying, oh, well, we think they should wait at least 2 years before they come out of the college because we don't think that their body, they're not mature enough to take the impact of the NFL. But yeah, that go hockey. You have 18-year-old players coming out of hockey going there and banging up against grown 40-year-old men, and nobody ain't concerned about that. Ain't nobody trying to stop them from doing that, are they? So why is it different for hockey, but it's not for football? In football and basketball, them players want to come out, it's their right. And you just sitting there trying to sit there and keep them players in there for your own benefits and the coaches too. Greedy bastards. You're all greedy. And you shouldn't be riding it back. If them players want to come in there one and done, so what? That's not your choice, it's theirs. And you shouldn't sit there trying to shackle them because you sitting there trying to work together and see how much you can rip these players off. I don't see any other sport where you can do that. You have players who sit there and go and get drafted in Major League Baseball, and they can leave and go and play Major League Baseball in the minor league, and if it don't work out, they can go back to college. But you can't do that in college football or college basketball. There has to be a fair system, and the unfair system is driven by money, not reasoning. And it's up to us to support the lawsuit that the players have against the NCAA and make them come to the table and bargain in a fair manner where these players either get some kind of financial assistance more than what they're getting now. Because what they're getting now is pennies on the dollar. Now, I'm not sitting saying turn it into a commerce business because I think that's the most foolish thing in the world that you can sit and do. Because it would turn the amateur sports into a big business. But you sit down there and you put filters in where the players have to attain a certain attributes because they have to put in too. You're going to go in there, now you're going to graduate. You be on par to graduate. You be there to play sports, but actually you play to graduate too. You be an athletic student. You be a student where if it don't work out, you have yourself an education that's going to help you out for years to come. But then, like I said, you also going to have these players where they don't feel like they're being used and just thrown out after 4 years. How many of these coaches called them, and the NCAA called these players after they played days over and asked are they okay? They don't. Because now they have a couple of fresh legs coming in, so why should they care about you? So now the NCAA, it's time for you to come back to the table and pay the piper for all the billions of dollars that you earn from the television and merchandise and the likeness and the big business that the NCAA has brought to you. And in the NFL, the NBA, keep your nose out of it. Because you just agreed you ain't got nothing to do with the NCAA. Nothing. You should have nothing to do with it. And you should have no right to tell them that they got to wait so many years before they can go to the NBA. If them players feel like that they can do it, then you let them have a chance to. And if it don't work out, then they should be able to say, okay, well let me see if I can go to college if I don't make it, and resharpen my skills. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna come back next week. We're gonna discuss this a little further down in the future, a little bit more about this. I'll be having more information based on what's going on with the NCAA as they go through this lawsuit with Ed O'Bannon and the rest of the people who's involved in that lawsuit. what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to go to my Facebook, go to my Twitter, go to my website, or better yet, you can sound off right here on YouTube and tell me what you think about some of the ideas that I came up with today. I don't have all the answers, but I do have enough. I think I do at least have the start of a discussion that'll create fairness to the players. It'll be fruitful for the NCAA and the NBA when the players leave NCAA to come to NBA and the NFL. But they should not have their nose stuck in the NCAA. The NCAA have no right to be in the same room or the same bed with them as well. Let me hear what you got to say. Fans, I'm listening for you, and I look forward to next week to talk about another discussion. I'm Alonzo, signing off, telling you to be safe, have a good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to the Sports Express.